What's up, y'all? Good morning. It's your boy Romance. Coming through again today with another world according to romance history. Alexander the Great, Part 5. When we left off last time, Alexander the Great went to the oasis of Siwa in the western desert of Egypt to ask the oracle there if he was a god or not. And indeed, the oracle did declare Alexander a god. The oracle said, "You are the son of Zeus," and also declared him pharaoh. So he became pharaoh of Egypt without even a fight, and he went on to he founded the city of Alexander. So shortly after that, great city, the biggest city of the ancient world, historic city. Didn't stay there long though. He stayed there for wintered it out there in Egypt, I guess you would say. Even though it's like desert and summer there, he chilled out in Egypt for a little bit. Then he went back to the city of Tyre in Phoenicia. Okay, so he's back in the Middle East, and he wants to head eastward. He wants to get Darius II, the king of Persia, the Persian emperor. Darius is on the run. While Alexander was in Egypt, Darius was mustering, and at this point, Alexander controls everything west of the Euphrates River. Okay, and he's marching east. Darius has mustered the largest army history had seen yet. Now, the Greeks tell us that there was something like 250,000, probably the number's more like 150,000 men that he had, but still it was a humongous army, and Alexander probably had about 1/3 or less than half of that in his army. Okay, so Alexander's marching east. He crosses the Euphrates. He's shitting his pants because an army crossing a river, even in modern days, is a tough engineering feat, but in the ancient world, you got mules, you got horses, you got cows, an army has a whole retinue following it. There's like freaking all the soldiers marching, and then there are people carrying shit for them. There's like roadies, there's groupies, there's a bunch of women following at the back who are like prostitutes that like follow around the army. I'm not making this shit up. Almost all armies had this, and that was going on. It was a big, huge thing, man. It was a big engine. So he crossed the Euphrates, no problem. Then he crossed the Tigris River. Tigris and Euphrates are the two rivers that make up Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia means the land between the rivers in Greek. So Darius is getting ready for this battle. He knows where Alexander's troops are. Alexander gets his information. His scouts tell him that where Darius is. Alexander's at a point where he's like maybe 100 miles north of the city of Babylon and 100 miles south of Darius. So he heads north. Darius is camped out on a hill at a place called Gaugamela in what's now either northern Iraq or southern Armenia, and they meet up. And the night before the battle, they're all getting ready. We do amazingly have like records from the Persian side and the Greek side of what happened before that battle. The Persians were shitting their pants. They were really, fear had gripped there was dissent. There was people leaving the camp. There was people running away. They were worried. They were even though their army was much bigger, they were still scared. And even Alexander's troops and Alexander himself was scared. The only time he sacrificed several times, polytheists and pagans did a lot of sacrificing, but for the only time he ever sacrificed to the god Phobos. Phobos means fear, phobia. That is one, Greeks believe Mars, or Ares in Greek, the god of war, had two sons, Phobos and Deimos, fear and loathing. And he sacrificed many animals that night and I think even some prisoners to the god Phobos. Alexander did, because they were scared. But he devised a plan, okay? Now, Alexander, #1 in his army at this point, he still has, the campaign's been going on for, it's 331 BC. He's been on the road now for approximately 4.5, 5 years, fighting this campaign, and he's still going strong, and still hasn't lost one battle, and never will. He devises a plan. He has guys that he inherited his dad's army, and there's guys that were like shield, phalanx. The front men who hold the shields are like the most important part of a phalanx. Well, there was like these 60-year-old dudes who were part of his dad's army that he inherited that would refuse to quit, refuse to retire, wouldn't die, and were as valuable as fucking 100 men for every one of them in the front of these phalanxes. So he had that, and he taught them, look, the Persians, their main weapon of terror and destruction is the sky chariot. They have these chariots where there's 2 and 3 people on them, one guy driving, the other guy shooting, and there's like these like rotors on the side of the wheels that like slice into other men and horses and crap and really do destruction. So they learned how to just step aside the ranks and let the chariots just roll right by them, and then they would hack them to pieces. That is one thing that they did. The other thing that he did was in his cavalry, he did this ingenious move where he started hiding spearmen and slingers and archers within the cavalry, and the Persians didn't see him coming. The cavalry moved real slow so guys on foot could roll with them. This worked out, and the Battle of Gaugamela, the Greeks won. And once again, Darius was in the battle. He met, him and Alexander met, and Alexander got a few swings at him, missed, and Darius was just too important, so he ran again for the second time. He ran at the Battle of Issus in Turkey. That was 2 episodes ago, and now he's running today. So Alexander wins the day. They slaughter the Persian army gets slaughtered, bro. Like, like I said, it's at least 150,000. So 150,000, 200,000 dead bodies, dead horses, dead mules. It's a desert. They had to get out of there. It was a biological mess after they were done. He headed south to Babylon. Now, I mentioned in my earlier shows that the Persians were total dicks about religion. They were cool to the kings. They were cool to the royalty wherever they conquered, and that kind of kept a lot of things in place, and that was a secret to the Persian success in conquering so much of the world. But where was I? Oh, they were dicks to Babylon. All right, the entire city of Babylon is named after the Tower of Babel. You've read about it in the Bible. It had been there for 2,000 years. Well, about 100 years before Darius, there was a Persian king named Xerxes. By the way, all Persian male names end with the letter S. For some reason, that's just a little side bit that I know. So Xerxes raised the Tower of Babel, and Babylon, like under Xerxes, they rebelled. So he just fucking tore the city apart, and where the Tower of Babylon was like ground zero. And that really, and he supposedly, like all the Persian kings after that, like they would take a Babylonian princess, 365 Babylonian princesses, one for each day of the year. They were really kind of cruel to Babylon. So when Alexander got to Babylon, if you thought the gates opened in Egypt, there was a party when he got to town, and that Babylon was the New York City of the ancient world. It was the capital. It was everything revolved around Babylon. It was huge, and so he took that city, and from there, he's still heading east, okay, towards the Persian heartland. And there's 3 main cities of in Persia. There's Susa, there's Ecbatana, and there's Persepolis. And he didn't know which one Darius was hiding out. And it was at the point now where, like, all right, he's been subduing Persia all along. He's using, you attacked us as his spin, but now he's attacked them, and now he not only conquered them, but he's taking over Darius's position. And he kept saying over and Darius sent him a letter, said, look, I'll give you my daughter. I'll give you everything east of the Euphrates River, or west of the Euphrates River. I'll give you 100 talents of gold. I still don't know what the hell a talent is, but 100 talents of gold, whatever the hell that is. And Alexander, sent the letter back to him. He said, nope, you didn't refer to me as the king of Asia. Now, Greeks called all Persian kings the king of Asia, but the Persians didn't call themselves that. So they're like, what the fuck is he talking about, the king of Asia? He kept saying that. He kept taking that title, the king. I'm the king of Asia. I'm the king of Asia. Well, now he's kind of become the king of Asia, and he has to, like, somehow pacify this huge population, these many, many nations of people that he keeps conquering. So it's getting harder for him. And there's starting to be rebellions, but he's letting it, and he's doing the same thing that the Persians did. Look, if you just recognize me as king, don't fight, you can keep ruling. You are going to have a Macedonian general that you will have to answer to, but you will be still in control. So Ecbatana gave up. Susa kind of gave up. And then Darius II was holed up in Persepolis. And that's where I'm going to end today's show. He's still about to get Darius and pacify and conquer Persia. But that's my show for today. Part 5 on Alexander. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. And again, please like, comment, go to Facebook, subscribe, like, comment. I apologize for how serious and whiny and complaining my last couple posts have been, but I got my ass murdered this week. I had a really bad week, and I'm sorry to anyone I might have offended. But this is Romance. This is the world according to Romance. Have a great day. Much love. I got nothing but love for you all. Please give me your love back because I really need it right now. Peace.